we believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His dhat, His essence is one. The essence of God does not have any parts. Let me give you an example. You, the human being, if you have knowledge, we call you alim, a scientist, a scholar. You and your knowledge, are you one and the same thing or you're two things? Exactly, because the knowledge wasn't always there. Allah says in the Holy Quran, when you were born, you knew nothing. You had no knowledge. Then you acquire knowledge. So the attribute, the sifa of having ilm or knowledge, it's not part of you, it's added to you. Right? So you have the human being, he has knowledge, he has power. And the proof is you could take away the knowledge. Someone could lose his knowledge, someone cannot have knowledge. So knowledge is not part of your dhat and essence, it's added to you. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how is it? With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not added to His essence. His knowledge is His essence. Allah, He Himself is knowledge, is power. And there is no separation between these attributes when it comes to God. We don't say Allah is an essence, part of it is knowledge, part of it is power, part of it is life. No. Allah has one essence. That essence is knowledge and power at the same time. It's one thing. We call it knowledge because we're focusing on one aspect. God knows everything. Then we call it power because we're looking at it from a different aspect. But in reality, it's just one and the same. Now, why do we say that? If you say the essence of God has parts, then Allah becomes in need. Why? Because whenever something has parts, a whole, when it needs parts, this table has parts, right? It has a plane. This table here, it has 4 legs. It needs them. Because if you take away one part, it ceases to exist as a whole. Allah does not have any parts. And that's the meaning of ahad. What's the difference between wahid and ahad? In Surah Qul Huwallah, do we say Qul Huwallahu Wahid or Qul Huwallahu Ahad? What's the difference between ahad and wahid? Wahid means one, just one, not two. What does ahad mean? It means one that has no parts. لَيْسَ لَهُ جُزْء. That's the meaning of ahad. And Allah is ahad. He has no parts. So if you say God's essence, part of it is knowledge, part of it is power, then you're dividing God into parts. When you divide God into parts, He becomes in need to His parts. And if God becomes in need, He can no longer be God. So that's why we say Dhatullah, the essence of God, is one and the same. And all of the attributes of God that we establish for God, such as knowledge, such as power, such as life, these are exactly His essence. I know it's difficult to grasp this intellectually, but that's the essence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if you add attributes to Him, you make Him in need. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need. Another discussion here that a lot of people ask about is emotions. Does God have emotions? You know, the Quran says God gets angry, He gets happy, He gets satisfied, right? Does God have emotions? What are emotions? We humans, when we experience emotions, what are emotions? They're physical reactions in our brain that show themselves in our body, right? That's what emotions are. Allah has no body. Allah is not a physical component. It doesn't make sense for Allah to have emotions. You think when we say Allah loves someone, He feels that love that we feel? Of course not. Because this feeling that we have is a result of our physical body and how our chemistry works in the brain. The brain produces, for example, serotonin or dopamine or something else, then you either get happy or sad or depressed, right? It's a consequences of this physical body. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no physical body. So what does it mean then when we say Allah gets angry, Allah gets happy? What does it mean? The consequence of anger. When you get angry at someone, what do? Punish them. When you get happy with someone, when someone satisfies you, what do? You reward them. That's what it means. Allah getting angry, meaning there's a consequence, you'll get punished. Allah being satisfied, that means you get rewarded. You look at the consequence when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have emotions. So when it comes to the essence of God, Allah is one. Now what about the 99 names? The 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are also created. Allah created them. I'll talk about this in my intercession series. You know, one of the shufa'a, the intercessors that we have in our life, is the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has created His 99 names for us لكي تتوسل بكل اسم من أسماء الله عز وجل. So you hold on to each of God's names to have Allah forgive you. So each name of God is a wasila, it's a shafi', it's an intercessor that intercedes for you. It's a means for you to get closer to Allah and have Him forgive you. So these 99 names, they point all to one essence, Allah. But when you look at the essence of God, you are looking at it from different lens. Each name is a unique lens. But you're looking at the same exact thing. So don't think of God's essence of having 99 parts. No, it's one part, indivisible. Each name is a lens through which you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you're asking for the rahmah of Allah, you call Him Ar-Rahim. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. For instance, if you want Allah to give you rizq and sustenance, you say, Ya Razzaq. See, it's one essence, but through the lens that you're seeing, the lens that you're seeing through is different. And these are the 99 beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Each one of them is a wasila to get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.